The previous video of feeling worthless is part 1, and this is part 2, because I have something else to say about the matter. If you feel worthless or not worth much, it often means that something happened in your childhood that made you feel that way. For instance, severe abuse. I have been, as a child, severely abused in every possible form of abuse. And the people that were supposed to love me, my parents and my sisters and siblings, they didn't. They hurt me big time, over and over again, especially that and especially my psychopath brother. Anyway, that made me feel worthless, and it was ingrained in you if you have been abused as a child. It can even be a tiny abuse, or it can even be something that you take as abuse but wasn't abuse. Do you know what I mean? But if you've been severely abused, it's ingrained in you since you were a child that you're not worth much. But I will give you an analogy that proves you wrong. Take 2 dogs, 2 Labradors. One Labrador was severely abused and the other Labrador was not abused and loved deeply in his life. I hope you like dogs and animals, otherwise swipe away, because I don't want to speak to not animal lovers. I think they're cold, but that's my opinion. Anyway, I don't feel connected at all with them because I basically don't understand if you don't like animals. It doesn't mean you have to have an animal, but it must mean that you love animals, because otherwise I don't know. I simply don't like people. I am suspicious of people that don't love animals. Anyway, take the Labrador. One is severely abused, the other one is loved deeply. Would you think of the Labrador that is severely abused, would you think that he is worth nothing or worth less because he's been abused? I don't think so, eh? I even think that you even feel more for him than for the one that's not been abused, because you feel connected with them, because you had the same shit happening in your life. That is also why, for instance, still bankers or lawyers or people with a high rank sometimes can still feel worthless. And definitely when they take their rank away from them, then they don't feel worth anything anymore. And why is that? Because they identify themselves with their rank. But imagine, I just say something, that you do fraud and you got caught and then you lose it all, you go to jail. You don't feel wow anymore of that banker or that lawyer anymore, do you? And they feel worth nothing anymore because their rank is taken from them, and they feel so identified who they are with their rank, and that is why they feel like in the gutter, that they are not worth anything anymore because their rank got taken away from them. And now all of a sudden they don't feel important anymore. But what many, many, many people confuse is that you are not worth more if you have a high rank. You only have a higher rank. But as a human being, you are as much worth as anyone else, even as a mentally handicapped person, for instance, that needs constant care, like my brothers. They are not worth less because they are handicapped. They are worth as much and deserve a chance at life in the exact same way that you deserve it. And if sometimes you still have the old you pop back up, making you feel worthless again, don't worry about that, but see that as self-sabotage. That is only the former you speaking to yourself, self-sabotaging you, telling you that you're not worth anything or not worth much. But that is complete bullshit. You can do something about feeling worthless if you look at it from a different way, like I now say with the analogy, So think about that. If you feel worthless sometimes again when the old feeling pops up, it does with me as well, and I fucking hate it, because it makes you feel so bad. But it's the self-sabotage you. It's not your new you. Your new you knows and realizes that he is worth as much as everybody else in this world. Not more, not less. Definitely not less, but also definitely not more. Do you know what I mean? If you don't know what I mean, think about Nelson Mandela. He agrees with me 100%. Okay, that was it for this one. See ya.